Today, we're breaking down one of the most surprising martial arts films to come out of Australia, Life After Fighting. The film opens on a typical day at the Faulkner Academy of Martial Arts. We meet our protagonist, Alex Faulkner, a man who has clearly walked away from the fighting life. He's now running a successful taekwondo school, and business is good. Life After Fighting looks peaceful for our hero, but the film wastes no time establishing that peace is a fragile thing for someone with his past. The first hint of trouble comes in the form of Ario Gomez, the current world champion who keeps sending Alex requests to come out of retirement. Ario is fixated on this fight because there's ambiguity about whether Alex genuinely lost his final match or threw it. For Ario, beating Alex is the only way to definitively claim supremacy. Alex ignores him. He's moved on. He has a life now, students who depend on him, and a philosophy of never quitting that he instills in every class. The next significant scene introduces the two new characters who will completely alter the course of Alex's life: Samantha Hathaway and her young son Terry. Samantha walks into the school one day to sign up Terry for classes, and right away, there's a connection between her and Alex. Despite his rule about not dating students or parents of students, he can't ignore the chemistry. Samantha ends up signing up for private lessons for herself as well. Things seem to be going well for Alex, with his school thriving and a romance blossoming. But as with any great action film, happiness is always the calm before the storm. That storm arrives in the form of Victor Dymov, Samantha's bitter and jealous ex-husband. Victor is the kind of man who just can't let go. Even years after the divorce, he's obsessed with Samantha and views Alex as a homewrecker. The movie doesn't shy away from establishing Victor's controlling and abusive past, which Samantha has clearly suffered through. Victor shows up at the school with his enforcer, a massive brute named Milan. This is our first major confrontation, and it sets the tone for the physical stakes. Alex tries to de-escalate, asking them to take the conversation outside. Victor verbally accuses Alex, while Milan stands there looking menacing. It's clear Victor wants to intimidate Alex, and he's brought the muscle to do it. Alex, however, asks them to take the conversation outside, much to Victor's amusement. Victor, confident in his brute Milan, agrees. Once outside, Victor gives Milan the go-ahead to teach Alex a lesson. Milan is powerful, but Alex is a tactician. He uses his superior technique and speed to make the big man look foolish. Alex sends a clear message to Victor: his school is not a place for trouble. With Milan sprawled on the ground after getting a brutal lesson, Victor is forced to retreat. The confrontation seems over, but Victor has more ideas. He's not the type to just go away. He's petty and vengeful. Next, we see two new guys, Ethan and Ryan, sign up for a beginner's class. It's obvious from the moment they step on the mat that they're not really there to learn. They're there to cause trouble, most likely sent by Victor to probe Alex's defenses or simply to make his life miserable. They start roughhousing with the actual beginners, mocking them and taking things too far. Alex, ever the professional, gives them a chance to leave. They refuse, and they actually believe they can take him. This forces Alex to demonstrate his skill in front of his students. He doesn't just beat them, he gives them a masterclass. Ryan gets the brunt of it, receiving a harsh beating that forces the duo to leave with their tails between their legs. It's a great scene for the students who get to see exactly how skilled their instructor is. But for us, the viewers, it's another sign that the trouble is just beginning. And then everything changes. The film hits its major turning point. After a training session, two of Alex's young students, Violet and Lainey, are abducted right from the parking lot of the school. Violet is particularly important. She's Alex's cousin Julie's daughter. Julie works as the receptionist at the school, so this is not just a crime. It's deeply personal. The abduction is swift and brutal, and the girls disappear without a trace. From this moment on, Life After Fighting stops being a simple drama about a retired fighter. It becomes a dark, desperate thriller. The search for the girls consumes the next several weeks. Alex, Samantha, Julie, and everyone involved are tormented by the silent. There are no ransom demands, no leads, nothing. The film dedicates a significant amount of time to showing the toll this takes on everyone. Julie is on the edge of a breakdown, barely holding it together. Alex, despite his inner turmoil, tries to put on a calm face for the sake of his students and to maintain some sense of normalcy. He's the rock everyone's clinging to, but inside, he's just as lost. This is where the film earns its emotional weight. Most action movies would rush past this, but Life After Fighting lingers on the despair, showing you the crushing hopelessness of the situation. The characters are drowning, clinging to a sliver of hope. It's a powerful human segment that makes the eventual catharsis so much more potent. As the weeks roll on and hope continues to dwindle, Alex and Samantha become determined to take matters into their own hands. They feel the authorities are getting nowhere, and the fear that the worst has happened begins to set in. The piece of Alex's life after fighting is now a distant memory. Although he'd never say it, he feels like he failed to protect his students. The two of them start driving around, trying to find any clue, any thread to pull on. It's a long, silent, haunting search. Samantha is just as committed as Alex, perhaps even more so, because she fears for Terry's safety. She's seen firsthand what Victor is capable of, and the abduction of two little girls has pushed her over the edge. Eventually, Samantha's determination pays off. She gets a lead and follows it to a remote, isolated house outside of town. This is the moment of discovery. She finds out that Violet and Lainey are being held there. But it's not just them. The house is being used as a holding pin by an international child trafficking ring. There are other young girls caged up, all victims waiting to be shipped off somewhere terrible, likely to Romania. The discovery is gut-wrenching, but Samantha is also resourceful. With her phone battery almost completely completely drained, she manages to send a text message to Alex with the address of the house before she's caught. It's a classic movie moment, but the tension is palpable. She knows she's in extreme danger, but her only priority is to get the information out. Alex receives the text. The message contains just the address, but it's enough. Alex, however, doesn't have time to chase after Victor. His priority is the girls inside. He enters the house, which is dark, grimy, and full of cages. This is a massive scene. He sees Violet, Lainey, and the other girls. They're terrified but safe for the moment. Samantha is there too, having been captured. Alex frees Samantha and the girls. It's a huge victory for the heroes. They're exhausted but relieved. The plan now is to get everyone out and to the police. But Alex also notices the sheer scale of the operation. It's not just a kidnapping, it's a well-organized international business. However, Victor hasn't finished. He's established himself as a truly horrible person. His anger and jealousy have walked into something monstrous. He still has Terry, and he uses him as a bargaining chip. Victor calls Samantha and Alex with a terrifying ultimatum. He says he'll let Violet and Lainey go. He doesn't care about them, but he demands the other 4 girls be given to him so he can send them to Romania. If they refuse, or if they try to involve the police, Terry will die. To prove he is deadly serious, Victor performs a horrific act of cruelty. He cuts off Terry's little finger. It's a sickening, brutal moment that solidifies Victor as a top-tier movie villain, the kind that needs to be destroyed. The poor kid is completely innocent, and this level of violence is beyond the pale. This pushes Samantha, Carradine, out of options. If they give up the other girls, they're sending them to a fate worse than death. If they don't, they lose Terry. They can't go to the police because Victor will kill the boy. Alex, however, begins to formulate a plan. He's not just a fighter, he's a tactician. He knows that to rescue Terry, they have to play by Victor's rules, but they need to do it on Alex's turf. The exchange, Alex decides, must happen at the dojo. The school is Alex's domain. He knows every inch of it. It's a controlled environment. He can use the layout to his advantage. The film sets up the location for the final showdown. Victor agrees to the exchange at the school. He's arrogant enough to believe he has all the leverage. He's bringing Milan, Ethan, Ryan, and other members of his gang. They think it's an easy job. They think they have Alex cornered. They're terribly, fatally mistaken. Alex, meanwhile, is preparing. He knows this is a fight for survival, not just a personal vendetta. This is about rescuing an innocent child and stopping a criminal network. He is single-handedly going to turn his school into a war zone. The quiet, retired Alex Faulkner is gone, and in his place is the ruthless, unstoppable champion who never lost a fight. This is where Victor and his entire crew will be walking into a trap. The exchange is set. Alex, Samantha, and Victor's crew all converge on the Faulkner Academy of Martial Arts. The air is thick with tension as Victor arrives, holding Terry hostage. He's accompanied by Milan, his big enforcer, and the 2 earlier troublemakers, if smug, confident. He doesn't see Alex as a threat. He sees him as just a washed-up teacher. He's about to be proven spectacularly wrong. Before the exchange can be finalized, Victor decides to make a horrible example. He wants to humiliate Alex and demonstrate his absolute power. The film takes a dark turn here. Victor orders Milan to do something terrible to keep Alex in line. Milan picks up one of the captive girls, a sweet, innocent child, and hurls her to the ground. The impact is horrifying and fatal. The girl dies from her injuries. It's a shocking moment that dispels any doubt about what these villains are. They aren't just criminals, they're monsters. Milan, despicably. This is the tipping point. This is about righteous vengeance. Every ounce of his training, his strength, and his fury is now focused on a single goal: absolute annihilation. Alex's plan swings into action. He doesn't just want to survive, he wants to make sure that every single person responsible for this never walks out of his school. The fight begins. This is the legendary 40-minute non-stop action sequence that everyone has been talking about. The first wave of attackers is a group of masked henchmen. They pour into the school, and Alex meets them head-on. What follows is a masterclass in martial arts choreography. This isn't the flashy waifu choreography of some martial arts films. This is brutal, fast, and grounded. It draws comparisons to the legendary fight scenes from the Raid films. Alex uses a combination of styles, demonstrating his skill in Taekwondo, Hapkido, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's a blur of powerful kicks, devastating punches, and bone-crunching grappling. The fight is relentless. Alex takes on one opponent after another, each one falling to his superior skill. He uses the environment to his advantage, picking up improvised weapons like door handles and staffs to take his enemies down. The school, which was a place of learning and peace, is now a battleground, a kill box. The movie showcases Alex's abilities in a way that is truly awe-inspiring. He is constantly moving, constantly attacking. He never gives the henchmen a chance to regroup. He's a one-man army. He takes out at least 10 or 15 men without break. This isn't just mindless violence, it's a visual symphony of combat. The camera work is excellent, ensuring you can clearly see every strike, every block, every takedown. The sound design is also top-notch, making every hit sound incredibly painful. Alex moves through the dojo, methodically eliminating every threat. He finds Ethan and Ryan, the 2 who had pretended to be students earlier. They're part of Victor's crew, and they think they can take him. Alex proceeds to dismantle them. He beats them down, punishing them for their previous arrogance and their role in the kidnapping. The struggle is intense, but the outcome is inevitable. He's a force of nature driven by rage and justice. He sends a clear message that crossing him has fatal consequences. The final showdown is set. Alex has taken down all of Victor's soldiers. It's just him, Victor, Milan, and Samantha and Terry in the center of the dojo. The blood is boiling, and Alex is face to face with the monsters who orchestrated this nightmare. Milan is the first to go. Alex unleashes a brutal no-holds-barred attack on him. He doesn't just beat Milan, he practically destroys him, making him pay for the child's death and his sick boasting. Alex is cold, efficient, and utterly merciless. We left off with Alex standing over the broken body of Milan. The fight is essentially over. Victor is the last man standing. He's backed into a corner, and for the first time he looks terrified. The arrogance is gone, replaced by the cold realization that he's about to die. He holds on to Terry, using the young boy as a human shield. Alex stalks forward, his face a mask of pure fury. He's been pushed too far, and now there will be no mercy. The scene is set for the final confrontation, but Victor, as we've learned, is also a coward and a snake. He knows he can't beat Alex in a fight, so he pulls out a gun. He points it at Terry's head, screaming threats at Samantha and Alex. He threatens to shoot his own son unless they back down. Alex stops, showing he won't risk Terry's life. However, he doesn't lower his guard. Victor then turns the gun on Samantha and shoots her. She crumbles to the ground, bleeding. The shock of seeing Samantha shot causes Alex to lose focus for a split second. Victor then takes advantage of Alex's hesitation and shoots him as well. Alex goes down. He's been shot, bleeding on the floor of his dojo. For a moment, it looks like Victor has won. Victor stands over the two of them, triumphant. He's just shot his ex-wife and the man who single-handedly wiped out his entire crew. He thinks he's finally in control. He's got the gun, and the heroes are at his mercy. But Alex isn't finished. He's been through hell. He's been shot, and he's a fighter. It's what he was born to do. Life after fighting has always been a lie. He was always going to return to this one final battle. He gathers every last ounce of strength he has. He pulls himself up and makes a desperate final lunge at Victor. He grabs Victor's gun hand. The two of them grapple on the floor, fighting for control of the weapon. It's a messy, desperate, and brutal struggle. Alex is injured, but his will to survive and protect the people he loves is stronger than Victor's fear of death. Alex manages to wrestle the gun away from Victor. In the tussle, the gun goes off. It's a loud, singular bang in the quiet dojo. Victor slumps to the floor. Alex has killed him. He shoots him point blank. There is no dramatic villain speech, no apology, no redemption, just a final, brutal execution. Victor is dead, and the threat he represented is finally, irrevocably over. The nightmare has ended. Alex immediately turns his attention to Samantha. He crawls to her, holding her, checking to see if she's still alive. Her breathing is shallow, but she's alive. The police and paramedics rush in to help. One of the police officers, Simon, reveals himself to be one of Alex's students. He's been working undercover, but he's also a member of the school. He rushes to Alex's aid, helping to stabilize him and get him medical attention. The final act of the movie isn't a final fight. It's the journey back from the brink of death. Alex has been severely wounded. He needs surgery, and the doctors aren't sure if he will pull through. Samantha is also in critical condition. The movie shows the hospital scenes, the beeping machines, and the anxious faces of the characters who care about them. Julie, Alex's cousin, is there, waiting for news alongside the families of the rescued girls. The emotional toll of everything that has happened hangs heavy in the air. Weeks pass. The film does a time jump. Alex's surgery is successful, but his injuries have left him changed. He is wheeled out of the hospital in a wheelchair. He's alive, but he's no longer the same indomitable physical specimen. He's suffered permanent damage. However, he isn't alone. Samantha is there. She has also survived her injury, and he's by his side, pushing his wheelchair. Their bond has survived the ordeal. They've been through the fire together, and they came out the other side. In a poignant scene, we see Alex being wheeled out of the hospital, meeting the gaze of the other survivors. All of the girls he rescued are there, including Violet and Lainey. They are safe, surrounded by their families. There's a sense of relief, but also a deep sorrow for the one girl who didn't survive. The scene isn't about celebration, it's about a profound sense of closure. The nightmare is over. The film cuts back to the school. It's a welcome home party for Alex. Everyone is there: Julie, Violet, Lainey, the other students, and the parents. They have all gathered to show their support and gratitude. Alex is wheeled in, and the atmosphere is one of love and respect. He's the man who risked everything to save the children. He's a hero to them all. This is the real life after fighting. It's not about glory or fame. It's about community, family, and rebuilding. Samantha is at the center of it all. She looks at Alex with deep affection. She pushes him around the school, past the student photos on the wall and the trophies he's won. The physical scars are visible, but the emotional scars are even deeper. However, they are together. He might be confined to a wheelchair, but he is still a champion. His life after fighting had always been about teaching and protecting others. He did that. He went beyond what anyone could have expected. He didn't just fight, he sacrificed everything for a cause. Alex is helped out of his chair and stands shakily with the help of his students and Samantha. He can stand, but his days as a fighter are over. It's a powerful image. He's not defeated. He's home. He's surrounded by the people who love him. He may be a warrior who has hung up his gloves, but he has found a new kind of peace in the life he has built. The man who walked away from the ring found a more important battle to fight, and he won. The final shot is of Alex smiling, standing in the heart of his school, surrounded by his family and his students. The cycle is complete. He started the movie as a teacher, had to become a warrior, and now can settle back into being the guardian of his school. If you enjoyed our recap, please like and subscribe for more. Let us know in the comments what movie you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.